Good evening. I'm Andrew Chang.
And I'm Adrian Arsenault. Tonight, Ontario slams the brakes on first doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine.
That's a significant safety signal that we don't want to ignore.
The new numbers driving the decision.
Also tonight, violence in the Middle East escalates in a big way.
Assessing the flood damage in the Northwest Territories.
It ruined everything.
And new Olympic sport, new Canadian hopes.
She's going to the Olympic Games.
We're with two athletes who are about to live out a once impossible dream. This is The National.
Canada's AstraZeneca vaccine story took another turn today. You'll recall the start, that shifting guidance over who it should be given to, then reports of rare but serious side effects.
Right, but now two provinces say they'll stop giving first doses of the vaccine, and for different reasons. Alberta says it's just a supply issue. Ontario says it's mostly about your safety. Tonight, we'll look at what it means for those who've already had one dose and are wondering what it means for their second. But David Cochrane begins our coverage tonight with the new evidence Ontario health officials said they couldn't ignore.
Ready?
Yeah.
Wiggle your toes.
More than 850,000 doses of AstraZeneca have been administered in Ontario. But for now, it stops there.
Effective today, Ontario will be pausing the rollout and administration of the first or initial doses of AstraZeneca vaccine.
The issue, the vaccine's link to a rare but serious blood clot condition known as VIT. Initially pegged as extremely rare, they're seeing it too often.
Our risk of a side effect of the VIT, it has gone from 1 in 100,000 to 1 in 60,000, and that's a significant safety signal that we don't want to ignore.
Alberta also stopped its AstraZeneca rollout, but due to supply concerns, not safety.
We do not know when Canada and in turn Alberta will receive additional doses.
So what Alberta has left and will get in the future will be reserved for second doses. The plan is less clear in Ontario, which is working on a second dose fix.
Once we have those pieces of information, I'll feel quite confident to provide that advice to my family, my friends, my colleagues who I know have received AstraZeneca, and we are working together to give the best answers to those questions. So unfortunately, don't have it today.
The good news is the country is set to receive enough Pfizer and Moderna that this pause won't slow the broader vaccine rollout. But it comes after at least 2 million Canadians have received at least one dose of AstraZeneca, including the Prime Minister, his main federal rivals, and the Premier of Ontario.
Those who received their first dose with the AstraZeneca vaccine did absolutely the right thing to prevent illness.
Data from the United Kingdom shows a much lower blood clot risk from second doses of AstraZeneca, but this move will undoubtedly shake confidence. So Ontario and other provinces are looking at other options, including a second dose from a different vaccine. David Cochrane, CBC News, Ottawa.
Well, this is a big change, so let's bring in infectious diseases specialist Dr. Zain Chagla to clear up a few things. So first, Dr. Chagla, what happened to the messaging around, take the first available vaccine? I mean, aren't there still hotspot parts of the province where the COVID risk is still greater than the blood clot risk?
Yeah, I mean, I think you take a look back in 4 weeks ago, and at that point, things were going out of control. Hospitals were filling up. Community transmission was getting higher. We were seeing case counts that we'd never seen before, and realizing that, the average 40, 50-year-old didn't have access to a vaccine for weeks. It was a good idea. We thought the risk was 1 in 100,000 of it. Again, community rates could have gone to 10 to 20,000 cases a day, and hospitals were overwhelmed. It was a no-brainer to take the vaccine. Now, as we have more Moderna and Pfizer coming in, 40-year-olds that will be able to enroll this week, the VIT risk is a little bit higher than we thought, and community rates are coming down. Yeah, there is now some flexibility to go to the vaccine with a lower side effect profile, but that decision 4 weeks ago was absolutely the right one, and again, saved hundreds of lives probably in the process.
But even in hotspot regions, you think this is the right call?
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on how your access to the mRNA vaccines is. But to be fair, most of the hotspot regions, have had access to mRNA vaccines essentially with 18 plus. So, again, it doesn't make sense if you're a 40-year-old that could access Pfizer and Moderna to get, AstraZeneca right now because of the side effect profile. But if that window is 4 weeks, in the future, then absolutely it makes sense to get the AstraZeneca vaccine now.
Dr. Chagla, thank you very much.
No problem.
From the Prime Minister today, some optimism that this summer could be a big step towards normal.
We all want to have a summer where we can see our loved ones and invite friends over for barbecues. We can have that summer. We can have a one-dose summer.
Trudeau also said public health restrictions can begin to ease once 75% of Canadians have their first dose of vaccine. And he said now, with a steady supply, that is possible by the end of June. But he warned that provinces shouldn't ease restrictions too early to avoid another wave of new cases.
Well, British Columbia gave details of its sick leave program today. It'll pay for up to 3 days.
No one should have to make that difficult choice between staying home when they're sick or going into work because they have an economic imperative to do so.
It begins next month and runs until the end of this year. The province says Ottawa's version too difficult to access.
There has been a new escalation of violence in the Middle East. More Israeli airstrikes into Gaza, more rockets from Palestinian militants, today aimed at Tel Aviv. Sasha Petrusik has the details.
Gaza burned and billowed as Israeli airstrikes hit cars, factories, and homes in the Palestinian territory. In return, hundreds of rockets fired by Palestinian Hamas militants streaked out toward Israel. In a major escalation tonight, many were aimed at Tel Aviv, where residents scrambled for shelter. Earlier in Gaza, a 13-story residential tower teetered, then collapsed amid black smoke. Residents were warned to leave by text messages from Israel as the Israeli army said it was targeting Hamas offices in the complex. There were no reports of deaths there, but the streets filled with the funerals of more than 24 others. One was an 11-year-old boy. Why did you kill him? Asks his uncle. Israel kills and no one answers for it, he says, even though the whole world is watching. Along the border with Gaza, Israel lined up its tanks, threatening an invasion. And in a meeting with military commanders, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was defiant. We are at the height of a campaign, he says. The might and frequency of our attacks will be increased. Hamas will be getting blows it didn't expect. Israelis were not expecting this escalation either. In the country's south, rockets from Gaza flew from dawn, some hitting houses and killing 3 women. We heard a boom and sirens. There was the smell of smoke, he says, as Israeli missiles intercepted rockets from Gaza overhead. A spokesman for Hamas in Beirut isn't making any promises about how long these will continue. He blames Israel for starting clashes in Jerusalem.
I'm not saying that we will continue firing the rockets. I'm saying that we will keep defending our people. We'll do our best to protect our holy places, the mosques, the churches.
Hamas now claims to be defending Jerusalem for Islam as Israel mobilizes its forces, and nervous world leaders call for calm. Sasha Petrusik, CBC News, Toronto.
Well, makeshift memorials are growing tonight in Russia for the 7 children and 2 teachers killed today in a horrifying school shooting. Up to 20 other people are in hospital. Chris Brown has the story.
With a gunman lurking outside their classroom, students crouched in sheer terror behind their desks, not knowing what would come next. The horror began with a 19-year-old armed with a hunting rifle walking slowly but purposefully to Kazan School number 175. We were sitting and we heard the sound of gunfire, said this boy. Then something like a bomb exploded. Whatever explosives the attacker used were powerful enough to blow off doors and leave the inside of the school shattered. We began to panic, said this girl. My heart started to hurt. The teacher said to put the desks up to the door and close the doors. In the background, you can hear screams and gunshots as children and staff make a frantic rush for safety. These incredible pictures taken by kids shows how some escaped down ladders once rescuers arrived. But much of the video from this day of bloody classrooms or of children jumping from third-floor windows is too disturbing to show. 7 students, 4 boys and 3 girls, most in grade 8, were killed, as were 2 teachers, including English instructor Elvira Ignatieva. The killer, who used to attend the school, posted this image of himself wearing a bandana with the word God on it just before the rampage. School shootings are rare in Russia, but not unheard of. The worst was in occupied Crimea 3 years ago when a gunman using a shotgun he bought legally killed 20 people and injured 70 others. The Kazan gunman apparently also bought his weapon legally. Today, President Vladimir Putin promised to toughen the laws. He said the same thing after the Crimea shootings, but nothing happened. Chris Brown, CBC News, Moscow.
Late last month, we told you the commander of Canada's Special Forces had vouched for an officer convicted of sexual assault. After our exclusive reporting, he was no longer a commander. Well, tonight, here's what we've learned about the sex offender. A charity allowed him to mentor sexually traumatized women despite being aware of his convictions. Ashley Burke spoke to 7 women he worked with, including veterans, women who now feel betrayed.
It just feels nice in my hands and helps to keep me grounded.
Retired Canadian Forces medic Tina Sharp enrolled in a 6-day trauma retreat to heal, but says she left more damage than when she went in.
I was suicidal when I drove away. I wasn't in a good place for a very long time after I left Project Trauma Support.
She took part in the Eastern Ontario program in July 2018 with a dozen female veterans as well as first responders. Sharp said they all had experienced sexual trauma and had post-traumatic stress disorder. She thought it was a safe space, she said, but later found out their peer mentor was a registered sex offender.
I'm filled with deep anger. And in the process of trying to heal from my military sexual trauma, I was exposed to a sex offender who had already reoffended. It just doesn't even seem real sometimes.
She said the doctor running the program, Manuela Joanno, failed to tell participants about retired Major Jonathan Hamilton's criminal past. Less than a year before the retreat, he'd been convicted in 2 different sexual assault cases and was in the midst of appeals.
Why wasn't I told? Why weren't any of us told?
Sharp said she discovered it by searching his name online, then confronted Joanno during the retreat.
She told me that she knew where I was going with this and not to believe everything that I read in the paper, that some men were victims as well, and she asked me not to tell anyone.
I feel like as a doctor, she's supposed to have our safety, like should have been her #1 priority, and to bring in a sex offender is like just wrong.
Volunteer firefighter Chrissy Johnston only found out about Hamilton's past after she left. She filed a complaint with the College of Physicians and Surgeons of Ontario. An investigation found Joanno knew about Hamilton's convictions, but said the court sanctioned his participation in her program and safeguards were in place.
I feel kind of violated, like she violated our trust and that I can't really trust anyone anymore.
Sharp said she's still recovering.
3 years. It's been almost 3 years. And I'm still hurting.
So, Ashley, what does the doctor have to say about this?
Well, Joanno and her organization's board chair sent CBC News a letter. For any who have been harmed by sexual trauma, we hear you. We know how painful this is. We will devote our efforts to learning more so that we can support you better.
And so what about the donors? How are they reacting?
Well, some say that they are assured by new vetting protocols, but not all of them. One large donor has severed ties with the charity, and the Royal Canadian Legion said it found the management of the program so distressing it will no longer consider future funding.
All right, Ashley Berg, once again, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, this was another day of anxiety for several communities in the Northwest Territories. They are seeing record levels of flooding with the annual spring melt. Ice is breaking up as Great Slave Lake flows into the Mackenzie River. And as the water moves north, it's brought more evacuation orders and left a trail of destruction. Juanita Taylor shows us what it looks like.
The view from above tells the story. Blocks of ice on Jean Marie River's dirt roads. Days ago, they were under as much as 2 meters of water. Nearly all of the tiny community's 26 homes have been damaged.
It ruined everything. Everything was flipped over. When we went in there, the fridge was flipped, the deep freezer, like all the kids' beds, our bed, the dressers and TVs, and like everything was soaked and ruined.
The high water uprooted fuel tanks, contaminating the area. Even the school and band office were flooded. A tense time for Carla Norwegian, her partner, and their 3 children.
Sit down, babies. Sit down. So we grabbed the kids and we made it to the access road. And there was a line of trucks. I think there was our truck and a truck behind us that made it out before it got too deep.
With no power in Jean Marie River, the family left for Fort Providence, an hour away. Most of the community did the same. Yellowknife normally accommodates evacuees from nearby communities, but this year, with a wave of COVID cases, residents want to stay closer to their homes. The chief of Jean Marie River says now they have to assess the damage.
The water is going down quite a bit, and hopefully that Power Corp will pull in their portable generator this afternoon, and fire up the community as much as they can.
But people here are worried about neighboring communities also experiencing flooding.
We're going to probably have to help our relatives in Fort Simpson that got displaced too, so I don't know. I know some of them lost their homes totally.
As for Carla Norwegian and her family,
no, we don't have a plan right now.
She just knows she's not going back to Jean Marie River anytime soon. Juanita Taylor, CBC News, Yellowknife.
So listen, no doubt, pretty terrible situation there. Let's try to understand what's driving it. Meteorologist Johanna Wagstaff joining us. And do we know, given the fact that the ice breaks up every spring, why the flooding is so bad this year?
Yeah, Andrew, the severity of the flooding really comes down to day-to-day weather conditions. If we had a gradual spring warm-up, the river ice would just melt into the water. But when we have these wild temperature swings, the ice breaks up into these larger chunks. And that's what ends up getting jammed up at the natural bends and curves in the river. On top of that, we've had record high water levels because of a big snowpack this year. So that's adding to the extra flooding that we're seeing. And by the way, Andrew, I should mention, Mackenzie River still has a lot of ice to melt, and we're still looking at these big temperature swings in the forecast.
Right. And Joe, how straight a line can we draw between what's happening and climate change?
I think because this does happen every year, it's hard to make a direct connection, but we do know that a warming climate will still mean La Nina years that bring us these big snowpack events. We also know it'll mean warming faster in the north, more volatile weather conditions, and shifts in the season. So it's part of the reason why forecasters are honing in on trying to get better at the very difficult process of ice jam forecasting, because we know climate change will play a role.
Okay, Johanna Wagstaff, thank you.
You're welcome.
Arkansas becomes the first state to restrict young people from receiving gender-affirming treatments.
A place that I've lived all my life is making it seem like they don't want me here.
The difficult choices some families are making to get continued care.
Yeah, come on. Also, climbing, a brand new event debuting in Tokyo, but to win Olympic gold, just how good do you have to be?
If you compared that to athletics, it would be like going and doing a 60-meter sprint and then going and doing a 1,500 or an 800 plus.
How text messages go with my younger brother.
If you're on TikTok, you've heard that voice. Why the Ontario woman behind it is suing the app.
My name is Bev Standing. This is my voice. It's being used without consent.
The trainer of Kentucky Derby winner Medina Spirit has a theory for how the horse may have failed a drug test. Bob Baffert believes the cause was a dermatitis ointment that contained a steroid. Officials have cleared the horse to race in Saturday's second leg of the Triple Crown, so long as it passes additional tests. The state of Michigan is threatening to seize profits from Enbridge if the Canadian energy company doesn't shut down its Line 5 pipeline. The deadline is tomorrow. As Ellen Morrow tells us, thousands of jobs are on the line in Ontario.
Sarnia's lifeblood, refineries employing thousands, keeping other businesses afloat, all dependent on the Line 5 pipeline. Dante Vaza's company just down the street makes reinforced steel for the oil and gas industry. Like so many others here, he's anxious.
If I can't rely on the oil and gas or the refineries here, then I have to look for other places, whether it's commercial or residential. It does have a ripple effect all throughout the community.
Line 5 helps move crude oil from Alberta east. Operated by Enbridge, the line starts in Wisconsin, crosses into Michigan, going under the Straits of Mackinac in the Great Lakes before continuing on to Sarnia. Michigan's Governor Gretchen Whitmer wants it shut down, calling it a ticking time bomb.
It's like trying to start the War of 1812 again.
Sarnia's mayor accuses Whitmer of playing politics.
Well, we recognize the world is changing as it relates to fossil fuels. However, it's not going to happen overnight. If this pipeline was to shut down, you're going to impact on the cost of fuel and the jobs of thousands of people across Ontario and Quebec and in Alberta.
James Williamson, who inspects pipes at the refineries, is one of them. Without Line 5, his family would have little choice but to leave Sarnia.
Every family in town has to make that decision. There'll be less and less families here contributing to the community.
Sarnia would feel the initial and deepest shock if the pipeline were to be shut down. But the rest of Ontario, even Quebec, would feel it too. Crude oil transported through Line 5 provides nearly half of Ontario's fuel demands.
A sign of just how crucial the line is, today Ottawa filed a brief in the ongoing court dispute between Michigan and Enbridge, arguing the pipeline is safe and crucial for jobs on both sides of the border.
It is a matter of energy security for Canadians and for Americans.
With the court case dragging on, an imminent shutdown is unlikely, but that does little to quell the uncertainty. Barb Jones manages a workwear store. Refinery employees are some of her biggest customers.
Would be, cutting of hours, employees, cutbacks, job losses. It trickles all the way down.
A cost this town can ill afford. Now it waits and hopes it doesn't happen. Ellen Morrow, CBC News, Sarnia, Ontario.
Well, climbing is making its Olympic debut this summer, and it is a dream many years in the making.
Ah, cool.
But to win the top prize, athletes will face an unusually tough challenge.
It's very, very hard to find a climber that excels in all three.
My conversation with Canada's top climbers and what we can expect in Tokyo. Next. Welcome back. In just over 2 months, the Olympics are scheduled to begin in Tokyo, but there is still a lot of uncertainty. COVID cases are rising in Japan. That's forced the International Olympic Committee president to cancel a planned trip for next week. But organizers insist the games are going ahead, including the debut of a brand new Olympic sport. I spoke with Canada's 2 climbers who have qualified about how they got there and how they're in for one heck of an event. This sport requires speed, strength, and a laser-sharp focus.
Many climbers excel in one discipline. Some of those climbers excel in 2. It is very, very hard to find a climber that excels in all 3.
Yeah, cool. But that versatility is precisely what it'll take to win in Tokyo, with climbing on the Olympic program for the very first time.
This is it. This is the big step. The eyes of the world are going to be on us as athletes there.
Sean McColl and Alana Yip, 2 of Canada's best. Sean has conquered local, national, World Cup events.
Again, Sean putting on a fantastic show.
He's off. Even American television. But for this Canadian, there was always one prize just out of reach.
I grew up watching the Olympics. My favorite sports to watch were swimming, athletics, gymnastics, and I always wanted to be one of those athletes. I always wanted to go to the Olympics.
Alana had a few more ups and downs. She won her first national championship at age 12, but after high school, quit. Didn't think she was good enough.
She's going to go direct to 53.
But she came back, stronger than ever, at just the right time.
Alana Yip has set a new high point here. She is going to the Olympic Games.
Success for me would be coming out of the games feeling like I did everything in my power to perform at the best of my ability.
Go, 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 come on. Oh.
Oh. But just ask Andrew Wilson, the team coach.
Well, that was going to be quick too.
Success doesn't come easily, not in a sport like this.
You are confronted with success and failure every day, and through that, we don't see failure on individual climbs or individual routes as failure. It's just part of process.
Here's Alana Yip.
So how does Olympic climbing actually work? Well, there are three main disciplines. First, let's look at speed.
Got away a bit sluggish.
It's like the 100-meter dash of climbing. The course never changes, and the top times from those who specialize in speed,
It's Alana Yip who takes it by the...
just over 5 seconds for men, just under 7 for women.
11, so he's got 6 minutes to climb. Time unlikely to be an issue. He's got that real fast, springy style, Sean.
Then there's lead climbing, more methodical, requiring much more endurance.
Again, he's climbing so quickly, Sean.
And there's no room for error. You fall off the wall, you're done.
Sean was just entering the rafters, entering the egg section, and fell. Here she goes to the big jump.
Finally, there's bouldering. No harnesses, no ropes, more like a puzzle you have 5 minutes to solve.
If she can top from here, Alana Yip is going to win the boulder round.
But here's the part that makes even elite climbers shudder. All three of these disciplines are actually one event.
If you compared that to athletics, it would be like going and doing a 60-meter sprint and then going and doing a 1,500 or an 800, and then immediately following that going on and doing like a 3,000 or a 5,000. And so the energy systems that the body is using and the technical demands are very different from discipline to discipline.
Go there.
It's for that reason there's no single dominant medal favorite, no Usain Bolt of climbing. To win, you need to be best at everything.
It all comes down to me, so I'm really hoping for the best, that I can pull it off on the day in question.
No, jump it. Yeah, jump it for sure.
I want to come away from the games feeling like I performed at my best,
cool.
and my goals are not tied to how other people perform.
And it's a high point these three have spent years dreaming of. Coach Wilson has been watching Sean and Alana climb since they were kids.
Sean since he was 9 and Alana since she was like 4 years old. So it's been an incredibly enriching and valuable relationship between the three of us that feels like it's coming to a really cool culmination and close at these Olympics. Yeah, it's really special.
And with just a few months to go, only one direction left.
So I feel like my shoulders have dislocated just watching that. And you and I were talking about this story before, and I gather because COVID affects everything we do, it's seeping into this too.
Yeah, certainly. So, I mean, in competition, the climbers climb one at a time, right? So they've got that going for them in the sense that physical distancing, which is a mainstay of COVID protocol, that will be pretty easy to accommodate during competition. But the other kind of neat little tidbit that I picked up over the course of my research into this story was that, so you know how climbers use chalk, right? Before every climb in competition in Tokyo, the athletes actually have to use what's called liquid chalk. So it's like chalk suspended in alcohol. That's the liquid. They rub it all over their hands, the alcohol evaporates, leaves the chalk, they can climb, but they're essentially disinfecting their hands before getting on those common handholds. So those shouldn't be an issue.
Very clever, thank you. The pandemic has thrown off training schedules for so many athletes, even those who aren't preparing for the summer games. Juanita Taylor, again, has the story of one Olympic hopeful from Yellowknife who is not giving up.
Montreal is a long way from home for Yellowknife's Wren Acorn. But this is where the 18-year-old speed skater wants to be.
I'm so excited to be here. Training's going great. Great to be back on the ice with other people because I'd been training alone in the north for some time.
Acorn is training with the Canadian National Development Short Track Speed Skating Team. It's where the best of the best are trying to earn a spot on Team Canada for the 2022 Winter Olympics. Acorn is ranked 15th in the country, but for most of the pandemic, she's been training in Yellowknife.
Pre-COVID, I had been on such an upward trajectory. It was my first full year training with the Olympic Oval in Calgary.
Then the rinks closed.
The evening before my last competition of the season, everything got canceled, and it was pretty heartbreaking.
Acorn stuck it out in Calgary for a few months and then went home to Yellowknife to keep training the best she could.
Sprinting up and down my street in December when it was really freaking cold.
Staying in shape also meant snowshoeing, skating on local lakes, and at her small hometown rink. Acorn says she's grateful to have her mother, Carrie Egan, always by her side.
I'd talk her through my race plans or whatever, and she would just sit there and go, "Okay, bud, just try your best."
I think if I did anything for her, it was just to encourage her to make lemonade. When life gives you lemons, you got to make lemonade.
Egan, a local speed skating coach herself, says over the years they have learned that it was better for her not to get involved in coaching conversations and to just be the mom.
Held the stopwatch and I helped her follow the programs that the Olympic Oval gave us, and we just did our best.
Yeah, so Wren and I actually grew up on the same street.
She also has the support of her childhood neighbor, Michael Gilday, who happens to be a former Olympic speed skater.
So she'll go out against skaters who are, some would consider faster or better or stronger or more experienced than her, and she won't take any prisoners.
Gilday says coming back north to train does have some advantages.
I know that, training on your own sometimes, training with smaller groups really lets you or helps you understand the dedication, the sort of commitment it takes to a sport.
In August, the Olympic trials will be held to see who goes to the Winter Olympics. Until then, Acorn will keep training in Montreal.
Right now it's all about experience and, pushing towards that. Honestly, I'm just going to keep my head down, work hard, be as happy as I possibly can be while I'm out here.
A young woman on a mission, staying focused on her Olympic dream while staying safe in a pandemic. Juanita Taylor, CBC News, Yellowknife.
Well, Arkansas is banning gender-affirming treatments, but critics say Republicans are making transgender rights a wedge issue.
This is more about how they feel and how they think, as opposed to what the science says.
The laws that are forcing some families to consider moving. Plus,
KFC hack number 3.
It's a TikTok trend even big companies are doing, but the Ontario woman behind that voice wants it to stop. Stay with us.
Shake it up.
Welcome back. In Arkansas, the families of transgender kids must now consider leaving the state if they want their children to receive puberty blockers or hormone treatments. Arkansas is the first state to ban those treatments for minors, but a handful of others are also looking to limit the medical options for nearly 50,000 kids. Tonight, Katie Simpson asks Arkansas's Attorney General why the law was needed, but she begins with a family in a dilemma.
In rural northwest Arkansas, the Brandt family has found a welcoming community, allies, and good friends in challenging times. It's a life they love, though they may soon have no choice but to leave.
This town is very quaint and tight-knit, and so that's been a really nice thing to experience and for the kids to experience.
It's sad and it's frustrating knowing that a place that I've lived all my life is making it seem like they don't want me here.
15-year-old Dylan is transgender and has been on testosterone for the past 9 months. It's vital care, he says, that he may lose access to starting this summer. After the Republican-led State House passed a law banning gender-affirming health care for anyone under the age of 18. a law affecting Dylan and nearly 1,500 other kids in Arkansas.
It's frustrating knowing that somebody is trying to take something very important to me away.
Watching him really become the person that he was always supposed to be has been amazing and wonderful. And the idea that that could be taken away and all the progress that he has made come to a screeching halt is incredibly upsetting.
Republican lawmakers in Arkansas have passed 3 bills this year that critics say are transphobic. It's part of a much larger national trend. Dozens of bills backed by Republicans are before state houses right now. But what happened here in Little Rock is getting international attention. A decision to ban gender-affirming health care, including the use of hormones for anyone under the age of 18, is considered one of the most extreme provisions in the country. It was even a step too far for the state's Republican governor. While Asa Hutchinson has signed other bills, including a ban on trans girls and girls' sports, he vetoed the medical care legislation, but was overruled by lawmakers. What do you say to those families who are considering picking up and taking their lives elsewhere because of this legislation?
We value you. We want you to stay here. It's important to our workforce and the diversity that we have. So it saddens me. But I also understand decisions that have to be made for healthcare purposes.
Republicans are looking for a way to remain in power.
Senator Joyce Elliott is a Democrat and says Republicans across the country are focusing on trans rights because they see it as an issue that rallies their voter base.
Very right-wing groups will come up with these nationalized wedge issues, and then state legislators start adopting it. And that's what happened here. It is not an issue that is a problem in Arkansas.
There are no known complaints about Arkansas's gender-affirming care system, and these kinds of medical practices are widely endorsed by doctors and medical professionals. Just one last quick question. The governor vetoed the health care bill. Do you stand by the health care bill? CBC News caught up with Arkansas's Republican Attorney General to ask her why she so firmly backs this bill.
Arkansas, and he'll me stand out from behind this because I don't really appreciate that.
I'm sorry. We're not trying to be rude.
No, that's fine. I'm going to defend that law wholeheartedly. There are so many things that we don't allow adolescents to do because of the maturity level of those adolescents, whether it's vote, get married, buy cigarettes, get a tattoo, but yet we don't want to see bad parents, and I'm not saying they're bad parents doing this, but we don't want to see bad parents. Having been worked with foster kids, we dealt with bad parents.
Are there cases of foster kids who have been given cross-gender hormones? Because I don't think there are in this state or anywhere in the country.
Well, we want to make sure, this is something, again, we want to make sure that we're protecting these young people, and that's what we're doing.
The Attorney General's office later admitted Leslie Rutledge's fears are unfounded, as she is not aware of any cases of parents or foster parents forcing a child to change gender. Are these not medical care positions that doctors and families should make? But she adamantly stands by the need for this bill. So many of these laws that are popping up across the country are a product of misinformation, according to DeLee Fortson, a psychological examiner who specializes in LGBTQ care.
This is more about how they feel and how they think as opposed to what the science says. And it's tragic.
The Brants are now waiting to see if the American Civil Liberties Union, an advocacy group, will pursue legal action. That could give Dylan some breathing room, as he likely would be able to continue with his care while a court battle takes place.
Physically and mentally, I'm so much happier, so much more confident. I'm doing things that I would have never done before.
Like what?
Like putting myself out there more. It's easier to put myself out there when I'm who I want to be and look how I want to than it is when I'm kind of hiding.
The Brants do not want to leave Arkansas, but don't know what other options they'll have if Dylan can't get the gender-affirming care he needs in order to live his life. Katie Simpson, CBC News, Greenwood, Arkansas.
Okay, it is a voice that is everywhere on TikTok.
Hi, TikTok. My name is Misty.
And it belongs to an Ontario woman who says TikTok has no right to use it. Now she's suing. Plus.
Stützle with the empty net for the hat trick. Goes to the goal. Scores.
A career first for Tim Stützle, but it came with no fanfare, so some Ottawa kids took the hats elsewhere. Stay with us.
I'm Jamie Poisson, and tomorrow on CBC's daily news podcast, Front Burner, gang violence is on the rise again in Metro Vancouver, fueling worries about recruitment in the region's South Asian community. We'll ask why. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Britain's leading music prize, the Brit Awards, was held in front of some 4,000 maskless spectators at London's O2 Arena. It is the UK's first major in-person ceremony of the COVID era, and it's also part of the government's pilot program for reopening live events more broadly. Those who attended had to be tested and will be monitored after the event as part of ongoing research. Well, if you've used TikTok, there's a good chance you've heard her voice, a Canadian who's narrated thousands of videos on the app. Only problem is she never agreed to it. Thomas Daigle explains what's happened and what comes next.
Number 2, the Castle script.
From her home studio, Bev Standing's voice goes round the world.
When you sign up at Joss & Main,
in TV commercials,
you'll find furniture and decor for every design, style, and lifestyle.
Online explainers.
A well-designed cleaning and disinfection protocol is critical in keeping disease out of your facility.
And more. She makes a living by being heard.
Anywhere you hear a voice and don't see a face, it's kind of what I do.
And now it seems she does a lot of this as well.
Hi, TikTok. My name is Misty. How text messages go with my younger brother. Yo, sis. Yo, bro. Everyone started sending me these videos going, this is you, and that's how I found out.
Without her knowledge, apparently using old recordings from another gig, Standing says social media giant TikTok lifted her voice for its North American users.
Anyone using TikTok can type a message in a post and have the app read it out loud. And Standing says that's her voice you hear.
Standing says that's her voice you hear.
Now it's the subject of a lawsuit filed in New York. Her lawyer claiming Standing has suffered significant injury and irreparable harm, with TikTok depriving the defendant of the ability to control her reputation.
Under copyright infringement, the maximum penalty is $150,000 a day or per infringement. That could add up quickly.
The talent behind the voice has no control over vulgarity.
Does this thing bleep when I cuss?
And no say over what they promote.
Turning texts from my boss into inspirational quotes.
Consider these posts on the official accounts of McDonald's and KFC.
Shake it up. Enjoy.
If this one slips, then you almost eradicate the industry. You could say that everything could be, everything's free for the taking.
We reached out to TikTok but didn't hear back. Neither has Bev Standing.
I want other companies, big and small, to know you can't do this. In its origins, there are
a court battle could take time. Her livelihood is at stake. Thomas Daigle, CBC News, Toronto.
Ottawa Senators forward Tim Stützle calls it unreal. A different kind of hat trick celebrated pandemic style. Our moment is next.
Broken up by Brown. Stützle with the empty net for the hat trick. Goes to the goal. Scores. Tim Stützle with his first career NHL hat trick to seal the deal.
Well, that was an away game to remember for the Ottawa Senators. A third consecutive win. Lots of thanks to Tim Stützle. He scored a hat trick. Now, so usually that feat comes with hats thrown onto the ice, even away from home, but not when arenas are empty. Then the team came home and the rookie got a surprise visit at his house. And that's our moment.
We were really like, wow, we need to do something because, that tradition of throwing off your hat on the ice and just them not being able to have fans this year, it's just not the same. For Tim Stützle, he's a young player who's never really played in Canada before, coming from Germany. The World Championships didn't have fans. So we really wanted to, give him some good Canadian love and show, what a celebration of this nature would be.
I think he was a bit overwhelmed, to tell you the truth, which makes it all the more
great.
better.
A lot of kids are like 5, 6,
4,
3 years old. So
they had fun.
Yeah, we expect that our sons will be Sens fans forever, right? Because these moments are so impressionable and they'll be able to tell these stories forever.
And so it seems that the players and the kids have a bit of a rapport and have had one beforehand. When the players were in quarantine, they used to watch the kids playing street hockey and thinking, we would love to do that. Right. So when quarantine ended, they went right out onto the street to play with those kids.
Right, and that, I mean, like this must have been a moment that those kids will remember for a long time, right? We're so used to seeing kids put so much stock in their sports heroes. It's funny to think that it works the other way around too. Mm-hmm. Those sports heroes need those fans. That's The National for this May 11th. Have a great night.
Good night.